Mental health is very much connected to your physical health because your mind is your body and your body is your mind. They're not two separate things. So it's all connected. And so that's why I really place a lot of attention and focus on taking care of health holistically. I'm a holistic coach.
Riikka Jalasvirta is a certified holistic lifestyle.
Over the past 2 decades, she has lived in 5 countries and is currently based in Denmark.
I take an approach that combines everything together. There are many health coaches out there, but my story comes from my own experience after losing my father and the deep and meaningful changes that I made in my life. I hope that can help other people. For example, self-awareness, like what kinds of thoughts do you have? What kinds of emotions are you feeling? What are your behaviors? What are your habits? Why do you do these things? Where do they come from? Self-awareness, mindset shifts. Mindset shifts is a huge part. And
Welcome to the Chi Chat Show, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have the pleasure to sit down with a holistic lifestyle and nutrition expert. She is also the founder of Infinite Holistic Wellness, and I'm excited to learn something new today. Thanks for coming, Rika.
hi, it's so nice to be here. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I hope you're excited today, guys. Please get your pens and papers because she will be giving valuable tips for those who are interested in optimizing their health and living happily. All right. We will put all of our links down in the description for you to contact her directly. So before we begin, what does infinite mean?
First of all, thank you for pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, of course.
So it is Infinite Holistic Wellness, and it's basically a pun. It's a play on words. So it comes from two quotes from two of my favorite books. And the first quote is basically the word infinite, like the opposite of finite. So infinite. So basically, deep within the depths of your subconscious lie infinite wisdom, infinite power, and an infinite supply of all that is necessary.
Yeah.
And that is from the book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. That's the first part.
We have it of the.
Do you? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, amazing.
It's my favorite.
One of my favorite books, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second part is a quote from a book called Making Your Mind Matter by Joe Dispenza.
Exactly.
And it's basically a quote which says that, our bodies do have an innate ability to heal itself. Our bodies do have an innate capacity to heal itself. And I thought that you could merge those two concepts. So infinite possibilities and an innate ability to heal yourself.
Yeah.
And so was born Infinite Holistic Wellness.
That's a great way of looking at it.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we know you're the founder of Infinite Holistic Wellness. What kind of services do you provide, and what is Infinite Holistic Wellness all about?
Right. So Infinite Holistic Wellness is a holistic lifestyle and nutrition coaching business. And I started it about 2 years ago now. So what I do is I work with clients both one-on-one in groups, and I also work with organizations to help improve their well-being. So I offer packages, for example, of 6 to 12 weeks, which are highly recommended because, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
So, if we've had these tendencies, these behaviors, these habits all of our life, it's hard to fix them in just one session. But I do also offer single sessions with clients if they so choose. For example, if they have like 1 or 2 topics that they want to address in just 90 minutes. So I offer that as well.
Mhm.
But one-on-one groups and organizations, I also do events as well on the side.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's a great insight, guys. So we'll be moving on. We always like to start the interview with getting to knowing our guest, right? Which is extremely important. We get to know your background a little bit, who you are as a person, right? Where you're from, so you give a quick introduction to the viewers. So let's just start with a simple how are you?
How am I?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
How's
Yes.
life going for you these days?
Yes, all good. I just had a really refreshing bike ride here to the studio, so I'm feeling refreshed and excited for
Oh,
this
you
podcast.
ride a bike?
Yes, I do. Of
Is-
course, we're in Denmark.
Yeah, right. That's one thing I've noticed here too, because a lot of people they kind of keep their cars aside and then ride the bike,
Yes, correct.
especially when their work is close to your house, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's just a convenient way to put in some, movement in the day. So, and you get some fresh air. So what's not to love? You would know as a personal trainer.
Nah, for me, it's a bit different. I've never really loved bikes.
Mhm.
It's been like almost 2 years I haven't been on the bike.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do love sport bikes. Like to go on an actual riding
The
tour.
spinning bike.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
spinning bike.
got it.
But just riding around the city from one place to another.
Mhm.
I don't really do it
Yeah.
anymore.
You already get your workout in during the day.
Yeah, I feel no, no, no. One thing for me too is just the cold.
Yeah.
I don't like when I'm on the bike and and the wind is blowing on my face and I cannot. My nose is running and
Yeah.
and I'm struggling with my cold fingers.
Well, you got it. There's this saying in Denmark that there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. So if you're not, geared up, if you don't
Yeah,
have your hat, you don't have your gloves, of course you're gonna, not have a great experience on the bike. But if you
yeah.
got your jacket and, you know, then it can be a nice experience.
No, I don't agree.
You
No,
don't agree?
no
Okay.
one's gonna convince me to get a
Okay.
bike, guys.
All right. Each to their own. Each to their own. Whatever works for you.
And are you happy so far with
Happy so
life?
far in
Yeah,
life?
yeah,
That's a very broad question. I think there is a spectrum on happiness, and I think happiness needs to be taken with a grain of salt, um, because it comes and goes. We can never be fully happy. We can never be fully miserable. I think we are a rainbow of colors, a rainbow of emotions. So I think happiness is just one part of that, which
yeah.
makes for an authentic life.
Okay. And how would you define your happiness?
How would I define my happiness?
Yeah.
Like, be more specific. How would you mean?
Like, how would you say something makes you happy? Like, your life is, let's just put an ideal situation where you say, my life is in a state where I'm extremely happy right now. How would you define that? What would be the
Um,
parameters?
I think when you are able to be present in the current moment, when you're fully immersed in a situation that you enjoy, I think that is a great definition of happiness because you're fully present, which means in that particular moment you're not focusing on everything that's wrong, but rather you're focusing on what's right in this particular moment. So I think that's a great definition, just being present in the moment with people that you love, doing things that you love.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And is that going to be the definition for you, or are you giving a general definition still?
I think there's a lot more to happiness, and we can explore that later in this podcast. But I think it's a state of mind as well as a physical, being as well, because our mind is connected to our body is connected to our mind. So if we're not fully aligned, in our mind and our body with what we're doing, then it's also hard to experience full presence and full joy if
Mhm.
you have some sort of misalignment. Um,
Yeah. I feel like you're not getting my point. What I'm trying to get at is what makes you happy?
what makes me happy?
A few things.
Okay.
For example, number one, what is one thing that will make you happy?
Okay. A lot of things make me happy. Okay. Well, I love to dance. That's one of my greatest passions in life.
Okay.
I love to dance, all sorts of different genres. Actually, earlier this year, I did an 8-week dance event with a group, which was super fun. So I
What kind
combined.
of dance?
So I had 8 different genres of dance. So I had everything from West African to kizomba
Mhm.
to dance hall,
Mhm.
hip hop and R&B,
Wow.
just all my favorite genres. And
Active.
yeah, so that was once weekly for 8 weeks. That was a lot of fun. And I practice dance regularly every week now, also on my on my private time.
Yeah.
So dance, I would say, is something that makes me very happy.
Okay.
I also love to cook as a nutrition coach. Clearly, it's
Yeah.
it's one of my passions as well. So I like to make healthy food. I like to experiment with different beautiful ingredients that are healthy. So different combinations,
Fantastic.
finding healthy recipes, things like that. So that's another thing. And yeah, and I like to do different forms of movement as well. So I really love my yoga. I love going for power walks outside, especially when the weather's nice. Um, and what else? Pilates is one of my favorites as well. Yeah, lots of things. I could go on, but I gave you three.
But at least that's good, you know. It means, and have you been doing all of these things lately?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. That means you're happy.
Okay,
That
there we
was
go.
very straightforward. And how's your mental health? How's your
Mental health.
yeah?
Okay, that's a big one. Um, yeah, so like I said, I think health and happiness, they're very broad terms. Mental health is very much connected to your physical health,
Yeah.
because your mind is your body and your body is your mind. They're not two separate things.
Mhm.
So there's like a mind body connection because it's basically it's like a bi-directional system, right? So if you're not taking physically good care of your health,
Mhm.
let's say you have poor, you have like some gut issues, you're not digesting your food properly, or you're not sleeping well, or you're not exercising your body, you're not, oxygenating your brain through exercise, it's going to have consequences on your mental health as well. You might have more depression. You might be more foggy brained. You might not be able to concentrate as well at work. You might not be able to think clearly. So it's all connected. And so that's why I really place a lot of attention and focus on taking care of like my health holistically.
Yeah.
So obviously I wouldn't say my mental health is perfect. I don't think anyone does in today's day and age. It's a constant work in progress, I think, for everyone. But I do try to actively seek ways to take care of myself is how I would answer that question.
I see. Okay.
Do you want more
Do you-
examples?
yeah, I'm someone who likes examples, you
Okay.
know, especially when people talk about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
because I do like the fact that you speak on a professional level and you
Mm-hmm.
try to give a broad definition of everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so that the people kind of understand what the topic is about,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I always love it, like also when you talk about yourself, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's more like,
Sure. So what kind of example would you like?
for example, what would you consider like, how would you say your mental health is? Is it good when you look at it lately?
So for me, I think this like well for the past 2 years now that I've been running my own business, it's been a huge change. Obviously, for me, I came from a corporate 9 to 5 job, was very stable in terms of like what to expect and it was comfortable in that sense. And then when you venture off on your own, you have to figure out a lot of things yourself. You have to first of all get the qualifications, you have to find your niche, you have to study the market, you have to learn a whole bunch of skills that I feel like I've learned more in the past 2 years than I did in,
Mhm,
in
mhm.
university and high school combined even.
Yeah,
So it's been a struggle in many ways in terms of getting the wheels rolling.
yeah.
Some days it's been extremely difficult. It's been
Stressful, yeah.
yeah, stressful, to be an entrepreneur, to run your own business, to get the word out there, to try and help people. It takes a toll, but that's why it's extremely important that you practice what you preach.
Yeah,
So, which is why I love what I do because, in helping other people, I also have to help myself.
yeah,
So going back to your question on mental health, there's definitely been days where I've felt very tired. I've been very stressed. I've been anxious.
yeah.
And But the good news is that there's always help out there. There's therapists. There's different kinds of alternative healing modalities that you can do, which I've applied on myself. You can talk to people. There's so much knowledge out there that can help you to get yourself out of a rut. So I do try to be active whenever I find myself in challenging situations to again practice what I preach. And sometimes I don't also feel like healing myself, and I just want to I don't want to feel the feelings, and I want to
Yeah.
be at the bottom of my bed and just look at the ceiling and like what is this ridiculousness. So it's not to say that even as a coach that you live this impossibly like what's the word, like disciplined life all the time.
Mhm.
We have days where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven, I'm gonna go and buy a croissant because I want to eat a croissant,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna eat it and I'm gonna enjoy it.
yeah, yeah,
I do that too. But then I have this principle that like an 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time you eat well, or you practice these holistic practices so that your mind and your body are resilient enough
mhm,
to overcome the treat or the kind of uh, yeah, like so that your body is resilient enough to overcome the other times when you're actually enjoying life, because we're not robots, we're not
Exactly.
machines. We have to enjoy life. So yeah, so basically I take the time to feel my feelings. Surrender to my cravings sometimes. Yes, I love croissants, everyone. I love them. They're so good sometimes, but I don't overdo it. I also eat lots of vegetables. And I make sure to eat a healthy diet. I try to, keep up with my sleep routine and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's one example, is being an entrepreneur is not always the easiest thing. Luckily, I've had amazing support people around me who have really been there for me in the past year, couple years. And yeah, just like trusting yourself, trusting the universe as well is something that gives me a lot of hope to get out of difficult situations. So I would say that's the most recent challenge that I've had, is
Yeah.
is learning to bridge the gap, or not gap, but learning to strike a healthy balance between my personal life and my new entrepreneur
Mm.
life. Um, yeah, kind of a long-winded answer, but there you have it.
Well, that's relatable to me.
Okay.
Definitely much relatable. Because from this second answer, I could really um, feel where you're coming from. I could understand you more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I feel like, can you guys also relate? Leave it in the comments, guys. If you guys could relate to this second part, she just said, right? Because I'm also a personal trainer and I understand a
Yes.
lot more what you said on the second
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. And where are you
Well,
from?
Finland.
Finland. Okay.
Yes, so not too far from Denmark, but yeah, Nordic. Nordic
Awesome.
anyway.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Mm.
Mhm.
And you're in a relationship? Am I right?
Not presently, no.
Not currently?
No.
Oh. You have any kids?
Nope, not yet. But one
Planning to
day.
have some soon?
One day, yes.
One day?
Yes, one
All
day.
right, guys. Do you have any siblings?
I do. She's my older sister. She lives in London. She's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
Yes.
In London?
Mm-hmm.
Why so far away?
Well, we both studied there. She moved there when I think it
Uh,
was in 2005. So it's been almost 20 years now. Oh my God, that's a long time. Yeah, so she's been in London since then. I also studied there, but I decided London was too much for me. It was too stressful. I didn't enjoy it to live there in the long term. So then I was seeking my Nordic roots,
hmm.
and then I wanted to come back to this part of the world where, yeah, it's just a lot more familiar. It's a lot more calm. But what I love about Denmark is that you've got this wonderful balance between, it's like vibrant, but it's also peaceful. It's clean.
Yeah.
Things work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here.
I see.
Mhm.
So in London is too busy, yeah?
It's a bit busy, yeah. Have you been?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's you've got, well, I think at the
Too
time when
tight even.
yeah, it's like I think there's like 14 million people in Greater London.
Yeah.
Imagine, and in all of Denmark you've got like five something,
Five,
six.
exactly.
It's crazy. So
Exactly.
there's always police sirens going off.
With
There's
the
like,
little roads.
yeah, it's like literally like a sea of people in your face all the time. So you have to have like really thick skin to live there, and have really good boundaries. So it's a bit stressful, but if you manage that, then it's great. It's a fun city to live.
Hmm. Well, coincidentally, I have family too in London.
Ah, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, whereabouts?
My auntie and cousins, they're in, where are they? I think they're in, is it Manchester or something? Or
Okay.
London? Yeah, I just know they're in London, in the capital city.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Nice.
don't know. I've never asked where exactly.
Okay.
you know.
Nice.
But how close are you with your family?
Very close. Sometimes too close.
Yeah,
I call my mom like once a day at least.
yeah,
And my sister and I, we talk often as well. Yeah.
yeah,
They're everything to me. So I make sure to keep in touch with them.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, you said your sister is older sister.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, okay.
So she's got two young boys, and I try to make sure I keep up with them because they're growing way too fast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's kind of crazy.
Hmm. Hmm.
1 year is always like they add like 5 centimeters each
I
time or
know,
something
right?
like
It's
that.
crazy. They just grow too fast, and they're two boys as well. So
Yeah.
they'll be tapping me on my head soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
And who are you closest to? Your mom or your elder sister?
Both.
Yeah.
There's no difference. We're like a dream team, the three of us.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's great. That's great.
very close.
Where's your dad in the picture?
Unfortunately, my dad, he passed away. That was now 13 years ago in 2011. So he had, it's actually one of the reasons why I started my business. So he had a grade 4 glioblastoma, which is the most aggressive kind of brain cancer that you can have. So he had a 14-month battle with that, which was very difficult for all of us, and that's actually one of the reasons why I decided to really take better control of my health. Um, yeah, so I mean, we already started this basically like 20 years ago. We were much into fitness. We had eliminated sugary beverages from our life. We were eating a lot more vegetables. We were like, yeah, we were putting together the building blocks of holistic health, but we didn't know as much as we did when we started to get more into it when our father passed away. And that's when we really got into a broader perspective on what holistic health actually is. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that discussion for later. But in a nutshell, so he passed away in 2011, and that's why a lot of the reason why I do what I do today.
Hmm. So you feel like it was genetic?
His death, or
No, no, no. You feel like the cancer is genetic in your family?
yeah, I mean,
Is
cancer
that
does
why
run
you?
in our family for sure. But I personally believe that there's this concept called epigenetics, meaning like that your environment also signals your genes.
Mhm.
So if you, for example, um, if you don't expose yourself to a toxic environment, for example, or you take care of your thoughts, you eat a healthy diet, you get quality rest, you're helping your genes, you're helping to turn off the genes that are disease inducing, and you are able to optimize your health by feeding it the nutrients that it needs, by taking care of it holistically. So while genes are important, they're just a blueprint for how your life can actually unfold.
Yeah, guys. I hope you guys are taking notes because this is exactly what I was also thinking about. You know, because some people usually say they just have they have bad genetics in their family, and some people have the cancer running in the family, some people have other maybe like mental illness running in the family.
Mhm,
Some other people they have like whatever disease it might be,
mhm,
but I've always said to myself, if you're able to live a healthy lifestyle,
mhm,
and really find out what's causing all of these things and avoid it and try to do take countermeasures.
mhm. Yes.
You could always stand out. You could be the difference in your
Mhm,
family,
mhm,
right?
for
So
sure.
guys, I hope you're taking notes. This is the expert in the holistic lifestyle. She giving you guys game right now. All right. Let's move on to the second part of the discussion, and we will talk more about holistic living, right?
Mhm.
So let's begin. What
Yeah.
is holistic living?
Holistic living. Well, I think I should start with a definition of what holistic actually means, because most people are probably like, what is that? Like, it sounds like it's woo woo or some weird, term. So, holistic means that you're considering the individual as a whole, meaning you're considering mental aspects, you're considering physical aspects, your emotions, even your spirituality, and many other aspects. It could be financial, it could be relationships, social, all that kind of thing. So, what it means is that we are one entity.
Yeah.
We're not separate bits and pieces put together. So what does that actually mean? It means that when we look at our health, we can't isolate and say, okay, um, here is your, I don't know, nutrition plan, and that's going to fix you. Yes, nutrition is super important, and it's actually probably one of the most important parts of your healthcare, because that's literally fuel that you're putting into your body,
Yeah.
which we'll get into later. But so nutrition is just one piece of it. Fitness is just one piece of it. You cannot exercise your way out of a bad diet, because no matter you cannot burn off inflammation
True.
through lunges. You can't do 100 lunges and neutralize the impacts of what a poor diet does to your body, because it's just physically it doesn't happen that way,
Yeah.
right? Um, if you don't get enough sleep, for example, you're not going to have energy to go to the gym, right?
Mhm.
So you have to, these are just three examples. So what you have to do is consider the individual on a holistic level, um, and then understand how is that playing out and generating the reality that they're currently experiencing. So, and this is where, yeah. So, for example, your emotions play a very important role as well. Your thoughts play an important role. Your yeah, your behaviors. So it's a whole individual basically. Um, and basically we are a as I mentioned before, it's this mind body connection. So
Mhm.
we're one system. It's like a one bi-directional system. Your mind feeds your body,
Yeah.
and your body feeds your mind, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. We've all had the flu. I'm sure you've had the flu. I've had it multiple times.
No, I haven't.
Not fun. Right?
I don't
So
know. Maybe my body is a bit
yeah.
resistant to it. I don't know.
Okay, but I'm sure you experienced a flu.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
right?
I have
So
people around me who have been sick multiple times.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a great example of when we feel physically unwell, right? When we're physically unwell, we also don't tend to think the most optimistic thoughts either. You know, you're in your bed, you're kind of miserable, you're not, you feel a bit depressed because you're sick, right?
Mhm.
So that's one example where when our physical being affects our thoughts, right? Equally, if you flip it the other way around and you say, I'm feeling depressed. Let's say I've lost a loved one in my family. You know, grief affects us in different ways. Some people have anxiety around it, some people have depression around it, some people, like yada yada, like the list goes on. So grief also is one form of emotion. I feel grief. I
Mhm.
feel sad, right? That's also going to physically affect your body. You're probably going to be less willing to go to the gym because you feel not great in your body.
Yeah.
Um or you feel depressed and you don't want to, maybe you want to change your career, but you're not going to feel inspired to change your career because, you're not feeling at your best.
True.
What are some other examples? Yeah, it's like basically your mind affects your body and your body affects your mind. And it's just this connection. And that's one thing I think is really missing in our healthcare conversations today,
Mhm.
because we tend to isolate and say, okay, I'm going to focus only on your stomach problem today, or I'm going to focus only on your brain today, not realizing that they're all connected, right?
Yeah.
So that's why mental health and physical health and emotional health and spiritual health are all connected. And that's why I love holistic well being, because it combines everything. You look at the individual as a whole,
Okay.
because when there's an imbalance in one area of your life, it's bound to have ripple effects across all others, like the examples that I just gave,
Yeah.
right?
Awesome.
Mm.
And what are some benefits of the holistic?
Multiple. The list is endless.
Just give us for today, guys. We just one or three.
Okay, three examples.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
three. The major ones.
I personally have experienced many benefits. So as I mentioned earlier, I really started to deep dive into this field like maybe 13 years ago. When my father passed away, we started incorporating much more kind of holistic elements into our lifestyle. So, for example, stress management, movement, nutrition, detoxification, habits, everything, sleep. And after doing so, I started to notice a lot of amazing benefits in my own life. So, for example, and this is actually what I posted online a while ago, which you might have seen in my post, was uh, that these benefits are things that I've they're like upgrades to my health that I can literally see and feel.
Mm.
So it's not just like, you know, wishy-washy things. They're actually tangible things that I can feel and see in my body. So one of them was that I cleared my acne. So I had
Mhm.
terrible acne when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yes, because I wasn't eating right and my diet was completely messed up. I was stressing. Obviously, it has a lot to do with
Mm.
hormonal changes as well, but having a poor diet really doesn't help that as well. And also the fact that I wasn't detoxifying my body properly, right? So that's one thing. I cleared my acne naturally through these approaches that I'm telling you about now. Um, because of that, diet cleanup and lifestyle changes, I also managed to balance my hormones. So for the ladies out there, that meant a regular menstrual cycle, no pain whatsoever, and basically, yeah, just consistent cycle every month. And that was largely due to the lifestyle changes that I made. You wanted 3 examples?
Yeah.
Okay. Third example was that, let's say, um, energy levels, for example. I have tons more, but I'll give you 3. Energy levels, right? So when you're eating a clean diet and when you're getting enough rest, when you're getting enough movement for your body, when you tweak the thoughts in your brain, which then have a positive impact on your body, you also make healthier choices, right? You make healthier food choices. Um, and the impact of that is that I've noticed a significant gain in energy. So I'm not only able to do a lot more things during the day. I have energy, for example, to go to yoga now. I go like maybe anywhere between 3 to 5 times a week. I power walk every day, at least 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour, sometimes an hour and a half. I do Pilates as well once a week. So I just have a lot more energy, and because of that, I also have a lot more ability to concentrate. I remember I just did a really long meeting
Yeah.
like just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think we did a 6-hour meeting, if I'm not correct, if I'm
Oh
not
my
mistaken.
God.
Like between 4 or 5 or 6 hours, I can't remember now. But like and I noticed the time just went by like that. I didn't feel tired. I was like totally in the zone,
Yeah.
focusing, not just like sitting there, but like really focusing and getting quality work done. But it's just the whole principle that when you're not burdening your body with these unhelpful practices, you're enabling your body to perform at its best. You're optimizing your health, and of course, the natural result is going to be that you have more energy. You know that you help your body, your mind to be well. So I think those are 3 examples.
Wow.
Yeah, hormonal changes, or hormonal improvements rather,
Yeah.
clearing acne, getting energy, and I have tons of other examples if you ever want.
Those are great benefits, guys.
Mm.
Those are great benefits. The 16-year-olds with the acne on your bodies, even older people too with acne on the bodies.
Mm.
Holistic living is a way to solve that.
Mm.
Awesome. Just fantastic. All right. Are there any disadvantages? Because we know most of the times everything cannot just be on the good side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are there any disadvantages that you know about?
So can you be a bit more specific? What kind of disadvantages do you mean
Uh,
specifically?
it can be in any direction in terms of holistic living, holistic lifestyle, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Have you come across any disadvantages with this lifestyle?
Me personally, no. I've only seen upgrades and positive things from the new kind of lifestyle things that I've been doing since 2011. Um, I think the only challenge, if you will, if I were to rephrase disadvantages to challenges, I would say that when you get to that point, when you realize that you actually are in control, you are able to feed your body with the healthy foods, you're getting quality rest, you're managing your stress, you're thinking the right thoughts. It really puts you in this position of empowerment, which is my whole philosophy. I try to empower clients to vitality. That's my tagline, is empowering you to vitality, right? So when you feel empowered and you have the control to make empowered decisions in your life to optimize your health, I think the challenge here is that you're kind of reprogramming yourself from being asleep
Yeah.
to being fully aware and fully alert. And that can be intimidating because you don't know what to do with that sometimes. It's like, my God, this whole new world opens up
Yeah.
where you can make better choices. You can serve others more in a greater capacity. You have much more creative thoughts. It's like the and this is where my business name comes in, infinite. You
Mhm.
have infinite potential
Yeah.
that you can actually tap into. And that, I would say, is the challenge, is that it can be overwhelming. It's like, oh my God, how have I not been doing this all along? So that's sometimes what I feel myself, is like it's this whole new world that opens up, which is super exciting, and it's interesting, it's fun. You get so much energy from it, and And the challenge is that sometimes you do feel very alone, because it took me so many years to escape that asleepness and the
Oh,
constant cycle of polluting my mind and my body with things that weren't serving me.
yeah.
So I think that would be the only thing. Um, but an interesting thing, yeah, I think that there's only wonderful things about holistic living, because actually I saw this really interesting post recently online that said plants, which has a lot to do with healthy living,
Yeah.
plants like herbal medicine, eating whole foods, things like that, is that this post said plants are not alternative, they're the original. Which is I totally agree with that. So yeah, so I think that this kind of living has a lot to offer people if they apply it correctly.
Awesome. Um, just before we move on to the next question, what's your take on the vegetarian versus the regular eating lifestyle?
So personally, I'm an omnivore. I eat everything.
Okay.
Yes, because I try to get a balanced diet from all different sources. I know, of course, there can be multiple different approaches to go. Some people want vegan, some people want vegetarian, some people want whatever. And I think you know uh, there's many different arguments to that. There's also many ways to make it sustainable. So it's just a matter of what you prefer. I personally prefer to eat an omnivorous diet because it makes me feel good. Um, and choosing the right kinds of foods, meaning I try to go for, organic, locally sourced, fresh whole foods,
Yeah.
in order to get the best of those foods. Um, so yeah, again, it's basically what you prefer. But if you're choosing something that excludes certain food groups, which veganism does and vegetarianism does, then you need to make extra sure that you're actually getting the right nutrients that you're missing out on if you were to do an omnivorous diet, which is what covers most different food groups.
Okay.
So.
And how long have you been living like this, the holistic lifestyle?
Holistic lifestyle.
Mm.
So basically, I mean, I think I got more into it in the past 13 years. So since my father passed away, that was like the trigger, the turning point for me. Um, I think before then it was already 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, we started in my family to like really get into like fitness, looking at our nutrition more
20
closely.
years ago.
20 years ago,
That's going to be 2013?
2003, 2002.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah,
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 something like that. So I was always into fitness. Fitness was my first thing. So
yeah.
I always was interested in. I was a cross country runner.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. Like running was my thing. It was like my jam, you know. So
Guys, I told you the secret is going to come out. She was a runner.
I was,
She was a runner,
and
guys.
now I hate running.
Yeah.
Nothing against runners, but I hate running with a passion. I that's why I power walk. So I used to be a cross country runner back in high school. I did 5K like 3 times a week, which at that time it was a lot. Um, so I used to compete like in internationally in different running competitions in my school. And then in university, I got into different kinds of fitness. So I was like doing more resistance training. I went to the gym, all that kind of thing. But then I got really sick of working out alone. I was like, this is just not fun anymore, And I want to work out with other people. So then I was like, what could I do to work out with other people? And I was like, you know what? Oh my God, I want to become an aerobics instructor. So I became an aerobics instructor and I started teaching aerobics classes, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I had one student in my aerobics class who she was doing Zumba classes. You're probably familiar with Zumba. So
Yeah.
it's like the dance fitness program.
Exactly.
And then she got me into Zumba. And then I basically went to the class once and I fell in love with it and I became a Zumba instructor as well. Um, so I combined fitness with my passion for dance. And then I became a Zumba instructor and I was teaching classes in my university. But anyway, long story short is that fitness was always a big thing in my life. And now I do yoga, I do power walking, I do Pilates, all that kind of thing. But then, yeah, so that was like 20 years ago that I started with mainly fitness. And then slowly we started adding more holistic elements like nutrition and sleep and the quality of your thoughts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you said like 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
your family, like you guys collectively decided, you, your mom, and your sister, or
No, so I think it came largely from my mom. So she was always into these alternative healing modal. I don't really like to call it alternative because, as I said, plants are the original; they're not alternative.
mm-hmm.
So she was
True,
always
true.
into complementary healing modalities. So, for example, traditional Eastern holistic practices like
Yeah.
Tai Chi. She got us into yoga.
Mm.
She was doing shiatsu as well, which is a Japanese, like a pressure kind of massage.
Okay.
What else? Ayurveda. She was studying Ayurveda
Yeah.
a lot from India. Yeah, lots of things. So
Wow.
she had these like because she was interested in health as well. So
Mm.
she brought in these perspectives into our family. She tried different nutritional approaches, all that kind of thing. And then we slowly through the years started adding more and more. And then my sister also caught on the bandwagon. I was the last to join, but my sister then became a certified nutritional therapist. So my mom and sister are both nutritional therapists, and then I was the
Oh,
last to join as a coach.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow. So mom was the role model.
yeah, she was the pioneer in our family, and then my sister and I we joined afterwards.
Guys, this is just interesting to listen to, when a whole family is on the same frequency.
Yeah, no
you
playing
know.
games now.
Eh, yeah, like seriously, because usually it be the other way around, one person is going this way, one person is that
Yeah.
way, doesn't want to come, don't want to join, but it's so interesting and
Yeah.
refreshing to hear that three of you girls on the same glide.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. So we have a lot of fun, and we share a lot of fun memes as well.
Yeah,
So
right.
we have a good laugh. It's not all serious and like boring. It's actually we make it a lot of fun and have a good time.
All right. I think this is something that people want to know, especially
Hmm.
for the beginners, right?
Hmm.
So, how can someone start living holistically?
I would say three things.
Yeah.
One is that because we mentioned this mind body connection, it's not really a connection; it's more like a bidirectional system, right? Because this is connected to this. Literally, your head is connected to your body, right?
Yeah.
Which we tend to forget. They're not two separate things. So the point is that with that in mind, we have to start by understanding this connection, right? And if I were to give an analogy, I think it would be helpful if I used an IT analogy. Not that I'm into mechanizing our bodies and our minds, but
Mm-hmm.
if we were to think of our mind as the software in a computer, that's like the
Mm-hmm.
program that you put in there. Your thoughts and your beliefs, your perceptions about the world is like the program that you put in here.
Okay.
And your body then is the hardware. It's like the screen of the laptop, like the screen of the computer, which is like a mirror. It reflects back to yourself and to the world what's going on in the program, right? So it's literally just a direct translation from here to here and to the outside. And so we need to start with the program because the hardware responds to this. And remember, it's a bidirectional system, but we're in control of this.
Yeah.
So what kind of thoughts we have, what kind of perceptions we have, what kind of beliefs we have is where we need to start. How do we do that? So this concept called metacognition is basically when we're able to observe our mind. And that allows us to tune in to what's actually going on in here because most of the day we spend rushing from one meeting to another, doing our work, attending to the kids, doing our hobbies. Like there's hardly ever a moment to just sit still with what's actually going on in my mind, what's going on in my body, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
Because if you're not aware of the program, you can't intercept it. You can't change what you don't know, right? You have to understand what's going on first in yourself. And so metacognition then allows you to self-regulate.
Mm.
So basically you're able to regulate your nervous system and to calm your mind and body. And a great way to do that is meditation. I'm sure you've heard of meditation and the many benefits that it offers.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I think is the starting point is always to understand what's going on in your mind and body, because again, you cannot change, you cannot change anything that you don't understand. You see what I mean?
True.
That's the first thing. When you understand how you're feeling, you also get a feel of, okay, what kinds of symptoms am I experiencing? Am I unhappy in my relationship? Do I have gut issues because my diet is poor? Is my career not fulfilling? How's my sleep? Like all those kinds of things, like the symptoms of, again, this hardware. What is the hardware showing me? What kinds of symptoms do I have? Because the programming here is not conducive to my health, right? So um, when we look at the holistic perspective of what's going on, then we need to. The second thing is basically getting to the root of where these are coming from. Why is it that I'm having gut issues?
Yeah.
Is it because my diet is poor? Is it because I have too much stress? Is it because I'm not taking the right supplements that are geared to my body? It could be a myriad of different things, right? So getting to the why, where are these symptoms coming from? It's all about the root cause, right? So in our society, we tend to focus mostly on the symptoms, like putting a band-aid on your wound,
Mhm.
or taking a painkiller because you have a headache. But we don't look at, why do we have a headache? Why am I bleeding? Why do I have gut issues? It's always about the symptoms. So what we want to move away from is the symptom management, which is important, but more important is understanding where these come from. Where do these issues come from? So we have to get to the root.
Mhm.
That's the second thing. So in addition to metacognition, understanding what's going on in your mind and body, then you have to understand, where do these come from? Is it a physical thing? Is it an emotional thing? Is it a mental thing? It could be a myriad of different things.
Yeah.
Um, and then, yeah, and then the third thing I would say is basically to take a holistic approach to healing. So, like I said, for example, healing your gut issues is not just focusing on the stomach. It's understanding, maybe I'm anxious eating. Therefore, I'm not digesting properly. Why are you anxious eating? Is it because you have grief within you? Is it because you feel lonely?
Mhm.
Is it because you're not eating mindfully when you're eating, and therefore you're just chucking food down your throat, and you're just not paying attention, you're not digesting it properly? So it's taking a holistic approach to healing and looking at the individual as a whole.
If we were to summarize that, how would you say that in just one word, next word, and a third word?
One, metacognition,
Yeah.
observing yourself,
Yeah. Full stop. Yeah.
get to the root cause,
Two. Yeah.
and a holistic healing approach.
Excellent. All right, guys, you have it. Right.
There you have it in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
In a nutshell. All right. Because I feel like you know, I feel like some people get lost sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Myself included sometimes. I get so into my holistic approach
Yeah, but I'm
that,
happy. The good thing is that you can break it down
yeah,
as much as as
mm,
much as possible.
great.
That's good. That's good. What are some of the holistic practices you teach your clients?
Yes, there are many different approaches, but I think I would start by, again, outlining where I start with my clients, and that's always the mind body connection. We have to get the internal environment right first, which is the starting point, because you know there's not a lack of knowledge in the world nowadays. We have chat gpt, we have the internet, we have there's just so much knowledge out there. So I don't think that is the issue that we're facing. I think what we need is really looking at the deeper things, the deeper things, meaning what is going on in our mind, what is going on in our heart, what is going on in our body. Like it's not do XYZ and you'll heal yourself. It's really understanding that, taking time to listen to someone, to try to understand them, like where are they coming from, and helping to really empower them to make better choices. So what I try to do with my clients is teach them these practices, like what does holistic even mean, so it's this whole mind body connection. I try to give them illustrative examples from their life on how their mind body connection might be playing to or against their health.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And then I obviously would give them practical tools that they can use to help themselves. For example, like meditation techniques. They can try different kinds of guided audios, or they can do, yeah, even just like listening to these beautiful frequencies, which are healing. when you want to do a meditation, or even offering them, for example, a food and mood journal so
Mhm.
that they can track what are they eating, how are they feeling afterwards, what
Mhm.
kinds of symptoms do they have. So giving them really practical tools that they can use to literally see, like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is the impact, and what do I need to do to actually start correcting that imbalance. um, I give them accountability. That's another thing. So as a coach, that's my job, is not to tell them what to do, but to help them to get the results that they want. So let's say that they need extra check-ins with me during the week. So I do weekly sessions. So let's say they might be they might tell me that, oh, okay, next I'm going to struggle with completing this particular exercise by next week. So can you send me a message to remind me on Monday? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'll send you a text or I'll send you an email. I'll tag you just to keep them on track. So accountability is one, giving them really tangible resources that they can use, tools, educating them on the benefits of holistic living. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers the scope of a coach is accountability, resources, tools, guidance, and just really like encouraging them to get from point A to B.
Exactly. What is the best experience you've had so far since you started this lifestyle?
hmm Best experience. I would say that I have, experienced many positive things in my own life. So as I mentioned, three examples earlier, which was acne, hormonal. So I can give
Yeah.
you a few more.
Yeah. No, no,
Um,
no, no, no. We want the best one
the
that you
best one.
that you were like, damn, I'm so proud of living this
Okay.
lifestyle.
Oof. That one I haven't thought of.
The
Okay.
day you were like, damn, I've done something positive in my life.
Okay. Yes. Well, I think when I work with my clients, that is when I feel most proud.
Okay.
I feel most proud and happy,
Mhm.
because if it's worked for me and I can see that it's clearly working for this client, then it makes me really happy, because I know that this method works for other people. It's not just for me, it's not just for this client. It can apply to so many other people. And I've had many instances when I work with my clients where I literally get goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is so awesome. Like I just have no words. And I'm just sitting there in a state of just absolute pride and yeah, just witnessing their empowerment and this newfound energy that they have to make better choices. It's just everything for me.
I feel like sometimes the joy of a coach is usually seeing the best result in the client, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. When you see the transformation, even in just the short weeks, like I've had
Exactly.
really, really awesome testimonials. Like one of my clients who said, I got further in 3 sessions of coaching with me than 6 months on therapy. I was like,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
I need more of those. I
Insane.
need more of those people to come over to me. So it's always really, really a blessing and an honor to work with people who are ready and willing to receive that coaching. So
Talk about ready and willing.
yes.
Talk about ready and willing, because some people are never, they just think it's gonna be a miracle, right?
Yeah.
Um they don't want to be willing to do the work
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
make the sacrifices necessary.
hmm
They just want to
See the results.
see the
Yeah.
results and hope
hmm
that you maybe perform some magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's the client that has to actually do the work. We're just there to facilitate that. So
Yeah. What is the worst experience? Let's go on the other side now.
worst experience. I wouldn't say worst experience. I would say again challenge. I'm very mindful of the words that I use as a coach.
All
Now
right,
I'm
it's a
very.
challenge. It's a challenge.
um, the challenge is that when you're so passionate about a subject, which I'm sure you are when in personal training, I'm the same way with my coaching.
Yeah.
I have a lot of energy to share with about the subject, and I have a lot of passion for the subject. So I tend to get very excited whenever I talk about it, um, with friends or family or colleagues or whatever. And so the thing is that not everyone is on the same page, in terms of interest, in terms of readiness, in terms of willingness to actually, receive this information. So the challenges that I have experienced in my relatively short time as a coach is that I've noticed that when I give unsolicited advice, it's not it's not well received. And why is that? Because um, when it's unsolicited, that means no one asked for it, right?
Yeah.
And if no one asked for it, that means no one is interested in it. And they're not ready or willing to receive it. It's not a bad thing. It's just that people are on different journeys. People are on different points in their journey on health. And so if someone is not ready or willing to receive this information, then it's not on me to force change on
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've realized is that I'm so honored and happy and joyful to work with people who do want to put in the work, who do want to change. It takes time to get there sometimes. It really does. Most people do it because of adverse situations in their life. For example, in my life, we had to learn the hard way when our father passed away.
Mhm.
But because of that, we've completely done a 180 in our life. We've changed everything in our life, and that's why I have so much passion for the subject. But not everyone is on that same journey.
Yeah.
And so there's this beautiful concept in Japanese. It's called obaitori. I think this is called obaitori. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it basically means that people like flowers, they bloom in their own time and in their own unique way.
Okay.
So what that means is that you can never force change on anyone. As much as I feel like they might benefit from it, as much as I can see that they might benefit from it, it's not my job to do that unless they are ready and willing to do that. So I welcome anyone who wants to change and who wants to make positive changes in their life. I'm the person to work with when
Mm.
they are ready and willing.
So you're saying most people get mad when you give them
Yeah,
unsolicited
because
advice?
I had the same thing. People have given me lots of unsolicited advice and it was annoying. But the thing is, I realize now why it's annoying because I was not ready. The thing is there's the rational component, which is the logic side of your brain, and there's the emotional side of any given argument, right? So when you're going through challenges in your life, most people can understand the rational reasons why you should change, right? Eating healthier, you might lose weight. Eating healthier, you're going to get more energy. Eating healthier, you're going to blah, 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 right? Lots of benefits. But I don't feel ready to change my diet because I love my ice cream.
Yeah.
I love my croissants. I love my whatever. So it's like you have to reconcile those two. Remember, it's the mind body connection.
Hmm.
You can understand the logic, but if you don't feel ready in your body to make a change, whether it's with your nutrition, whether it's with your relationships, whether it's with your career, if you're not fully aligned with this change, then you're not ready. And that is the place where coaches come in, like people who actually want to change is the ones that I would like to work with because you cannot you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink,
Yeah.
right?
All right, that's amazing. That's amazing. So let's give this example, right? Because I feel like the people will be wondering now, what if they become your one of your
Hmm.
clients,
Hmm.
right? What are the things you're gonna do to ensure that they have the best
Hmm.
results?
So as I mentioned briefly before, it's essentially going back to the basic functions of a coach. What does a coach actually do? So a coach is someone who works with you to provide accountability, resources, tools, guidance, so that you can move from an idea to implementing that idea and then being self empowered to actually take it and run with it yourself so
Hmm.
that you can start making more informed, conscious, healthy, and sustainable choices in your own life.
Yeah.
So, my job is to hold your hand through that process. My job is not to diagnose anyone, it's not to prescribe anything, it's not to advise. I'm not an advisor, I'm a coach. So, my job is to help you get the results that you want, that you feel aligned with, and basically support you on that journey. So I help clients with things like self awareness.
Number
This,
one. Yeah.
yeah, number one, for example, self-awareness, like what kinds of thoughts do you have? What kinds of emotions are you feeling? What are your behaviors? What are your habits? Why do you do these things? Where do they come from? So self-awareness, mindset shifts,
Yeah.
helping them to change those things so that, remember, it's the software and the hardware piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
So changing the program, mindset shifts is a huge part. And we spend a lot of time with clients on that component. Actually, my most recent client, she had booked for 6 weeks, which is one of the basic packages that I recommend.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to get through the internal environment piece, which is all about the mindset, in maybe 2 sessions max. But we spent 5 sessions just on that. Imagine 5 sessions just on that.
Yeah.
So we've had to actually add more sessions because we're not even close to being close to being to the end results that she wanted. So
Yeah.
so sometimes it takes a bit longer depending on how long you've had these programs running in your head.
Okay.
So that's one thing. Mindset shifts. Um, Behavior change. Obviously, how do you translate mindset shifts into different kinds of behaviors? How do you establish a habit? How do I
Mm.
go from I want to change my eating to actually doing it? What kinds of food should I be eating? Or like what does healthy eating mean? Like what does mindful eating mean? So really translating the mental piece into the physical actions. And then the last thing is basically self responsibility. How do you take all of that and then become an empowered individual so that you're responsible? You take responsibility for all the choices in your life, all the thoughts, all the emotions, all the behaviors, so that you are optimizing your health.
You heard the simple steps, right? When you contact her as your coach, you know what to expect. Pretty simple, right? I like the way you break it down.
Thank you.
That's amazing. What I want to hear from you right now is how would you ensure that you stand out? Because we know there are like
Hmm.
millions of other coaches
Yes.
and experts.
Hmm.
So how would you ensure that you stand out from the other ones so people are like, no, I don't want to go to this or that coach. I want to go to Riikka
Hmm.
specifically.
Hmm.
How do you sell yourself to these people?
Yeah. Well, I think everyone has their own unique story to tell. So I try to weave in every time I post online or I share my experience with people face to face or in interviews. I really try to bring out my own story. So
Mm,
no one can take away your unique story and how you
yeah,
arrived, first of all, in your situation.
exactly.
So there might be many people who resonate. Maybe they had a father who passed away from brain cancer, or they might have someone who's close to them who might be going through a similar illness, and they're like, "Oh, okay, she gets me. Like she has the same story as me." So that's number one. I think is the story. The second piece I think is my message, which is quite universal, but I personally find it very appealing. If I was a client, is empowering you to vitality. That's what I truly want. I want to be empowered so that I feel this vitality flowing through my body because I personally believe that we're all meant to be in this beautiful state of health. It's a God-given gift to all of us, and I think that it's a human right to have good health. So there are many health coaches out there, but my story comes from my own experience after losing my father and the deep and meaningful changes that I made in my life. I hope that can help other people.
Mhm.
Um, and thirdly is the fact that I'm a holistic coach. So there's many life coaches and there's many nutritional coaches, but I take an approach that combines everything together. Um, so I think holistic is the piece there that might distinguish me from other kinds of coaches.
Yeah. Let's go back to this 80-20 rule you said, right?
Hmm.
Um, when you're facing this kind of challenges where you have to be on the 20% side,
Yeah.
how do you deal with them?
I wouldn't call it a challenge. This time I would actually say it's life. Right? It's life. So we're
It's
not
like,
robots, right? I also like to indulge. First of all, because it's boring. Like who wants to do salads and eat vegetables like 100% of the time?
Mhm.
I certainly don't. I want to sometimes enjoy, like a treat here and there.
Yeah.
But the point is that again, so it's 80-20. So if 80% of the time you're eating well and you're getting your quality sleep and you're, doing your movement and all that kind of thing, then your body is much more resilient to deal with the treats so that your body doesn't get out of balance, right?
Mhm.
So out of this homeostasis, which is when our body is meant to be in a state of balance, right? So it's always trying to find this healthy balance, if you will. And so when you apply this 80-20 rule, you're basically helping your body to stay in a balanced state. So how do I deal with it? Well, I mean, you can just do simple math, right? So if you do, let's say you do 3 meals a week, that means you're doing 21 meals, sorry, three meals a day. That means you're doing 21 meals per week. So if
Yeah.
you do 80-20, it's roughly what, like 3 meals a week, you can do whatever. But even if I do a treat meal, let's say, I would still try to choose the healthiest option. So I wouldn't go like completely bonkers, and okay, croissants, fine. That's like a little bit bonkers. Anyway, but yeah, I always try to choose the healthiest option whenever it's available.
I see.
Yeah, so just enjoying life, but also trying to maintain like a healthy balance. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. But do you think, so quick question, do you think some people trying to enjoy life might ruin the work they've been doing for the past week?
Like when they treat themselves, you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Because you never know. Some people, because the body types are usually different, right?
no.
The ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph
Mm-hmm.
things,
Uh-huh.
and some people kind of hold in more fat, more
Mm-hmm.
sugars in their bodies than others.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably burning more. I know you're burning more because you look like an ectomorph to me,
Thank
and
you.
your metabolism is probably higher,
Yeah.
but some other people are like mesomorphs,
Mm-hmm.
if they eat just a little bit of cake,
Mm-hmm.
it stays for the next
Yeah.
2 days or something,
Yeah.
you
For
know.
sure. Yeah, I mean that's where blood work comes in as well. Like you need to check your hormone levels, you need to check like your thyroid function. So for example, I have a low thyroid function, so I need to be extra careful with what I eat because it really does affect me. And I do put on weight easily if I don't take care of myself. So that's important to really, I think everyone should be taking good care of their health, right?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
just people who are whatever XYZ category, but um, because if we see it in the way that food, for example, food is fuel. It's not just something that we put in our body just to fill our stomach, right? It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a car. So if I were to use a more mechanical example once again, um, is that you know we even take better care of our cars sometimes than our own bodies, right? We put in the right fuel into the car. You wouldn't put diesel into a gasoline car. You wouldn't put, vice versa. It's the engine's going to explode, and people know that. So why don't we treat ourselves the same way? Why do we put crap food into here when we know that it's not going to serve us, it's not going to provide us with the nutrients that we need, it's not going to definitely give us the energy that we need, and it's going to undermine our health in the long term. So why do we not see ourselves in that same way? So that's what always baffles me, is that and it's partially a systemic issue. We've been made to overlook these things because there's obviously lots of vested interest who don't want us to be healthy, for various reasons. And I'm not going to go into that because it's a whole different discussion. But anyway, so my point is that yes, I think we should be taking care of ourselves, all the time, whenever possible. And to your question, do some people sabotage their effects? Like, let's say they work out during the week. Yes, I think that's where the 80-20 rule comes in. So if you're doing it the other way around, 20% of the time you're eating healthy and then 80% of the time you're treating yourself, it's not going to be very conducive to your health. So, I think we have to treat ourselves like a temple, like a holy temple, where everything that you put into your mind and your body is it's like it's sacred. So you wouldn't put dirt in a mosque. You wouldn't put dirt in a church. So the same thing applies to us. Don't, put good, wonderful things into your mind, into your body, and you're going to see how it's going to start serving you back in beautiful ways.
All right, next one.
Lots of
Yeah,
notes.
take notes, guys. Because these things, the reason why I keep on saying people should take notes is because, people are gonna pay very expensive the fee, to hire a personal trainer or hire a holistic coach. It's expensive. So take notes if you want to start by yourself and then get some extra advice when you feel like you're financially able, and then you can do it. So take notes and benefit for free before you, right?
Yes.
That would be a smart way to do it because I know personally people have come to me and be like, hey, I cannot pay the whole package for maybe a year or 3 months, you know. So
Mm,
what are some quick things they can, this is
mhm,
one quick thing they can do.
mhm,
Watch the
mhm,
video, take
mhm.
notes.
Yes. That's a good one.
Right. So let's move on. What are some general misconceptions people have about the holistic lifestyle, would you say?
That it's not tangible, I think. People tend to think that it's, well, what is that? Like, what does that mean? I don't really,
Yeah.
how does that help my health? But as I said, I've seen a lot of benefits from my own healing journey. I've
Hmm.
seen tangible health upgrades that I can literally see and feel in my mind and my body. Um, so I think the first misconception is that it's not a thing. Like, what is that? Because we've been very, our society is very medicalized. Either you go to a doctor, or then, like, the other stuff is coined alternative,
Yeah.
when in fact, like I said before, plants, which is the foundation of
True.
of a healthy,
Medicine
yeah, like
and
for
everything.
example,
Yeah.
whole foods diet, for example, or herbal medicine.
Yeah.
Plants are the original, they're not alternative.
Exactly.
They've been around for upon thousands of years.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the first misconception, is that it's not relevant, or that it's not somehow, it doesn't generate positive benefits, which it clearly does, because I've seen them, my clients have seen them, and I've seen so many countless other stories of healing through natural means. Other misconceptions, I think that's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah.
It's just that it has a bit of unfortunately, it has a bit of a strange label to it. So
Yeah. Right.
that's why I'm here, to spread the word, all the benefits that you can get from
Yeah.
holistic living, and yeah.
I feel like it's something that's very good, but like you said, the label on it is kind of
Yeah.
not so talked
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
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 If you were to give like an advice to the younger people watching, what would it be? Like a message you'd like to share about, an advice or message about life in general?
Yeah, I would say that no matter where you're at in your life, in your journey, no matter where in the world you're living at the moment, what your situation is, I think that our mind and our bodies are so resilient, um, that, healing is possible at any point in time. Every day is a new opportunity to start fresh, to start building healthier habits, to start eating better, to start sleeping better, you know. Um, that applies to you, that applies to me, that applies to anyone watching. So I think there's so much potential, there's so much opportunity to be gained from holistic living. And I think it's accessible to anyone who chooses to embark on it.
Awesome. So going back again to your personal life, all right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spend your time when you're not working?
Lots of things. As I said, I have a lot of energy, a lot of energy to do a lot
Oh
of
my
things.
goodness.
I love to go, so I go for a daily walk.
Yeah.
So I try to do that at least between 30 minutes and 1.5 hours every day, unless for some strange reason, like I don't know, something happens. But it's rare that I don't go. So every day I go for a walk, just to get my fresh air, to move my body, see some nice scenery, do some people watching, and do some nice calls with my loved ones. I love to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Also Pilates and yoga as well. I love to listen to podcasts when I'm cooking.
Mm.
I love to cook, and whilst I'm cooking, I might as well learn something educational. So I listen to nice podcasts, and
Which
or
ones
something,
do you always listen to?
just inspiring ones. I like to follow holistic health practitioners.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with people like Dr. Josh Axe, um, or then more spiritual people like Dr. Karen Can, um, who's all into energy healing. And then there's just tons, like the whole spectrum of anywhere between fitness to nutrition. There's
Yeah.
lots of different practitioners there.
Great. We are at the point where we always play a game. For those of you who have been following the channel, you know what this part is all about, right? We have about 10 or 11 questions,
Yeah. Okay. Woo.
right? And we have 30 seconds to answer each
Oh
question.
gosh. Okay.
Just so the viewers can get to bond with you and
Sounds great.
understand a little bit about you in very plain and simple answers.
Okay. I'll try to keep it short. It's hard to do when you're a holistic person. You want to cover everything under the sun. I'll try.
All right. So the game is called Know Me Uncomfortably Well, right?
I love it.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Question number 1. Name 3 of your favorite dishes.
My favorite dish.
Yeah.
Can it be home cooked or anywhere?
Anyone.
Okay, I'll say oven baked fish with some homemade pesto and some vegetable puree.
Okay. Is that 3?
That's one. That's
Yeah.
one meal.
Yeah. You got to name 3. 3 of your favorites.
Okay, so just one.
That's 1. 2 more.
Oh, okay, two more. Okay. Got it. Okay, 2 more. Okay, chicken tenders
Yeah.
with avocado and cilantro dip.
Okay.
That's another one. And what else? And then a third one would be, let's see, maybe a sardine salad.
Okay. Why specifically sudden?
Because it's easy on the days when I'm really busy and I just can't be bothered to cook anything elaborate. I'll just take a can of sardines and olive oil
Yeah.
and chuck it into a massive salad with arugula, some spinach, some lamb's lettuce, some sauerkraut, and just mix it all up and add some walnuts in there. And it's just really delicious.
Oh, I see. quick and healthy.
Quick and fast. Yeah. Quick and dirty.
Awesome. So question number 2, name 3 of your favorite music artists.
3 music artists. Okay. Oof. Okay. Oh, there's so many. Okay. 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 I'm struggling with this one. I would say Masego is pretty good.
Good one, yeah.
Masego. I would say Coldplay is one of my longtime favorites since I was in high school as a band.
Awesome. Yeah.
And Adele. I like Adele. Like I love her voice. I love her personality. I love her healing journey. I love everything about her. So yeah, just at the top of my head, those
Very
three.
great choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have the opportunity to collaborate with 3 people in the holistic lifestyle and fitness industry, who would they be?
Okay, I would work with Dr. Josh Axe,
Yeah.
who's a doctor of chiropractic and a nutritional therapist and a holistic health practitioner. He's awesome. The same thing with Dr. Mark Hyman. Same thing. He's also a holistic health practitioner.
Yeah.
And maybe Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Tony Robbins. He's got some great motivational stuff. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Name 3 of your favorite songs.
3 of my favorite songs. Oh my gosh, these are hard. Okay, so many good songs. Okay, well, I'm actually part of a small band at the moment, and we're singing. We're doing a song by Ariana Grande. So God is a Woman. That's one of my absolute favorites. I love the lyrics. I love the melody. Okay, that's one. What's another one? I think another one would be, gosh, I'm struggling. There's so many. There's so many. Gosh.
30 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
We got
Okay.
30 seconds. Come on.
Okay. Green Eyes by Coldplay. Because I have green eyes and I love the lyrics. Oh,
Okay.
and another one. John Mayer, Stop This Train. Stop This Train. Yeah. It's
And
all
what's
about
your band about again? What kind of genre are you guys playing
Coldplay.
in your band?
Oh, in my band. It's not actually a formalized band, but we're just a music group at the moment practicing. So we're doing covers of different kinds of songs. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So you don't have like a specific genre? you're
Not
into?
not yet, but we're working on different pieces right now, doing covers.
So is that like your hobby or something?
Yeah.
Playing music?
Yes. Yeah.
What instrument you playing?
I sing.
You're singing?
Yes.
Guys, she's singing. Give us an acapella.
Me and this other girl, her name is Michelle. She's really sweet. She's in the band as well. She and I do singing, so we alternate between melody and harmony.
Okay. You guys want an acapella? They want an acapella.
You want me to sing?
Yeah, give them an acapella.
Okay. What do you want me to sing?
Ariana Grande. You said Ariana Grande,
Okay.
right? Which
Okay.
one was it again?
God is a woman.
God is a woman. All right, give us what
Okay.
you like.
Woo! Okay. I did not see
I'm
this coming.
excited.
All right. So, you love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman, and I feel it after midnight. A feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done. You believe God is a woman. There you go.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Guys, give her a cheer. Give her a cheer. Give her a cheer.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And where would you
Maybe
be
one
sing-
day you can come watch.
I would. I would. I would.
Awesome.
I will. Where do you guys play again?
We don't have a concert date yet, but we'll definitely let you know when we do.
All right. I'll come. I'll come listen to you live.
Okay, great.
know.
Awesome.
Because lately I also had a few professional music artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I also went to their own EP releases and their live shows as well recently.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It
Mhm.
was great. They're into Afro beats and punk and disco,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Nice.
Right. So next question is name three of your favorite movies.
Ooh, okay. I think I like movies from the 90s. My favorite three movies would be, I would say, Miss Doubtfire.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Miss Doubtfire.
No.
Super good. What's with Robin Williams and Pierce Brosnan?
Okay. Pierce Brosnan, that's
Yes.
one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah,
So,
he's
yeah,
in it. So Miss Doubtfire, I would say Home Alone, which I'm sure most people know. It's a Christmas movie. It's awesome. One
Probably
of my
streamed
favorites.
it 1 million times.
Yes, Home Alone, and as a romantic myself, I like the movie called You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and what is his name? What's his
I
name?
think the title
Meg Ryan
is all right.
and Tom Hanks. Yes, that's
Tom
the one.
Hanks. All right.
Yeah, great movie.
You're always trying to remember the names
Yeah.
of the actors. Why?
Because just in case, you need to know.
All right. Awesome. I
Yeah.
see. You like the details, huh?
Yes, I do. Yes, indeed. I'm a details person.
Okay.
You have to be if you're going to be analyzing people on a holistic level. You have to get into their mind.
Yeah.
So,
I see. I see. Name three of your favorite books.
my favorite three books, yes, lots of those as well. But I would say maybe first one would be Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself
Mm-hmm.
by Dr. Joe Dispenza. That was truly mind blowing and transformational for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Those are two of the books that I refer to on my website.
Yeah.
And also 7 Laws of Spiritual Success by Deepak Chopra. And many more. I could go on, but I think those are 3
Three good ones.
really nice ones.
Yeah. Name three of your favorite places you have not traveled to yet.
Favorite places I haven't traveled to yet?
Yeah.
How can I know they're my favorite if I haven't been there?
Maybe you've been dreaming about it, like
Okay. Oh,
seeing
yes.
it in the.
Okay. I would like to go to Hawaii one day.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list. So I've seen gorgeous pictures of Hawaii. Some friends have recently been there, so that looked really nice. Hawaii is definitely one. Another one is New Zealand.
Mhm.
I have not been there, but I was very close several years ago. And I unfortunately didn't manage to go whilst I was in Australia, but I would like to go to New Zealand one day. And another place I would say is somewhere in Italy. Maybe Sicily would be nice. I've not been to Sicily, but I've heard only wonderful things about it.
Guys,
Yes.
have you guys noticed the pattern with New Zealand?
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Am I not the only one who said it?
I guess our last 4 guests have
Oh,
said,
really?
all the ladies, all the women have said Australia, they've said
Uh-huh.
New Zealand, they've said
Nice.
somewhere in the US.
Okay. Great. So I'm not the only one.
What's going on in New Zealand with the ladies?
It's the Hobbit land for
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Beautiful
Oh,
scenery and
yeah.
just beautiful, gorgeous.
I think I need to go to New Zealand too.
Yes.
I'll put it on my
You gotta
list.
go.
All right, next one. Do you sleep on your belly, on your sides, or on your back?
On my side,
Okay.
always.
Why? Is there a specific reason? Don't
Um,
you roll around in the night?
I roll around a lot, but I sleep on my side always. I can't sleep on my back or on my belly. Yeah.
I see, I see. On a rest day, do you prefer to stay indoors and relax or go out and have fun?
On a rest day, I prefer to just chill at home and do something calm. Maybe cook something nice.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Isn't that funny?
How so?
Most of the ladies said the same answer.
Oh, really? It's nice to recharge, you know? You can't be
And
always going, going,
yeah,
going.
yeah. And the funny thing is, most of the women who say these answers are the most active.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you can't be, you're not a
Yeah,
um you're not a robot. You need to take some time to rest as
exactly.
well.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right. What is one thing you hate most?
One thing I hate most.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
That thing that's gonna be like, no, we're enemies right now.
I would say if I can combine two in one, can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Go
when
ahead.
I'm cold and I'm tired, that's my worst combination.
Mm.
That's like I think the equivalent of when men get hangry. They get hungry and then they get angry. So I get when I'm tired and then I get cold, that's not someone you want to be around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
You get pissed really fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. So what is one thing you love most?
Thing I love most is laughing. I love to laugh. As you can
Laughing,
see,
guys.
I love memes. I love sharing memes. I love a good laugh with people.
You know, it keeps you
Yes,
young too, right?
it totally does. Yes.
I told you guys, laughing. So, next one, name 3 best dating tips a potential candidate needs to do in order to get you laid.
Oh my God. I cannot give dating advice for a life. No, for the life of me.
No, for you.
Um,
3 best dating tips. Like if there was this guy coming to pick you up for date night,
like what would they do? Like
yeah,
what should
what are
they
three
do?
things they need to do
Okay.
so they
Okay.
can win the night? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I would say plan something nice, some nice activity.
Yeah.
Um, ask profound questions
Oh.
and be kind.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you're not sapiosexual, are you?
Huh?
Sapiosexual. I think it's this thing where you kind of you're sexually aroused by deep conversations.
Well, I find that very attractive in a man when he can hold a deep and meaningful conversation. So, if that answers your question.
No, because some people they need that element in
Uh-huh.
order to be like, okay, this person is 100% with me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because if you
Yeah.
got everything else, the chemistry is good, it was a nice time, everything, but the conversation was not like
Right.
long enough,
Exactly.
or you guys didn't
Mhm.
understand each other well. It
Yeah,
might not.
precisely. So I think that the emotional connection is super important. We're not just physical beings, we're also emotional beings and we need to be able to understand each other,
Mm.
and connect on a more spiritual level. So I think that's really important.
Okay, so for you, the connection will be enough on
I mean,
a
I think
deeper
as a
level.
health coach, I think it's also for me it's important that, you take good care of yourself because it's nice when you take care of yourself because then you have more energy to also care for other people. It's not to say you have to have a six pack or anything, but just, that you have an interest in your holistic health. That's
Mm.
something that really is a plus for me when I'm, dating a man.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I
I
see.
think that's three things that I would say.
Great. All right, guys. If you have to go with one style, right? What would it be? Sports and active wear, B, urban and street wear, or C, elegant and classic clothing?
So most of my life have been sporty and active.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of moving away from that because life is not just about sports. As much as I love it, I also do like to dress up every now and then and wear some nice feminine clothing. So I think I would say active and sporty merged with elegant and feminine.
Mm.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the show right now, guys. We're almost done. And we always give the guests like 1 or 2 minutes If you have anything extra to say on your mind, which
Hmm.
you want to share with the people,
Hmm.
that would be
Yeah,
great.
thanks so much, by the way, for this amazing podcast. It's been
You're
truly a
welcome.
pleasure.
You're
I
welcome.
love talking all things holistic wellness. I could go on and on. So an hour and a half is just a tiny little tip of the iceberg.
I get the energy,
Uh,
guys.
I
You could
know.
sit here too.
With my clients, I know I give 90 minutes usually, but I always go over because it's hard. Once I get my wheels
Rhythm.
rolling, it's hard
Yeah,
to
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
So anyway, but if you found any of this content interesting, you can find me in the details in the links in this podcast. So I work with anyone who's interested in taking care of their health. I work with individuals, groups, and organizations. And, I offer single sessions, I offer 6-week packages, 12-week packages. And you do not need to wait for adversity to make positive changes in your life. You can already start thriving today. So that's my key message. If you're ready and willing to put in some effort into changing your ways, I'll be most happy to work with you.
What stuck with me from everything she said?
What?
You don't need to wait for adversity in your
Yes.
life.
Yeah,
Start making the change. Be proactive, guys. All
absolutely.
right, that was a good one, Rico.
Thank you so much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching to this point. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe with your family and friends. Thank you so much once more for staying to the end of the podcast, guys. It's very important for us, to grow on the YouTube space, right? So if you did like what Rika was talking about, let us know in the comments, and she'll probably be back again for part 2 talking about the holistic lifestyle. Like we said earlier, contact her, you know, and understand more about the holistic lifestyle.